Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark, Sarah, and Pam, and a bunch of capybaras.
Yay!
That story coming up in a little bit. We're covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Give us a listen at lydiamediallc.com or wherever you get your podcasts. And feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
Today's show is brought to you by United Piping, serving residential and commercial customers with new installations and repairs. Call today and schedule your oil and gas boiler cleanings at 754-4556. UPI, the best plumbers around. And by Ruper's Beverage and Redemption. When it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it, squatch it! At 5 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com. And remember, the party starts at Ruper's.
We have a very special guest in studio today.
Yay!
Fans of Sarah and I's former show may remember Mike the Tarot Guy.
Yay!
How you doing, Mike?
And it
Feels so good. I am doing fantastic. Thank you so much for bringing me back on to this new show.
Yes, Mike used to be a monthly guest on our former show, and he's making his first appearance on the Lunch Bunch, and he even brought us breakfast.
I did. Tis the season.
Tis the season.
They
He
had
brought us
sprankles.
festive donuts. Yeah.
With sprankles.
Sprankles.
With sprankles.
Sounds like something I did to my ankle. I sprankled.
Sprankled.
The studio is currently overrun by capybaras.
Oh, my God.
Sarah, do you want to explain?
I'm obsessed with them. Obsessed with capybaras. And on a daily basis, I send Mark and sometimes Pam a bunch of reels of capybaras doing funny things or cartoons of them. And so for Christmas, there was a theme. And I got Mark a capybara lamp that when you squeeze it, it lights up. And it's so squishy and soft. And when I came in today, I also got Pam a capybara sock, and I got Alex a capybara pen. And when I came in, I had a squeezy capybara, like, squish. I don't know what they call it, a puffer, where you squeeze it and its head gets really big. So I have that. And then Mark got me a capybara squishmallow named, what did we call her? Lygian.
I wonder if you should rename her, just so it's more...
She could be Cappy.
So it's easier for you.
She could be Barry.
There you go.
She could be whatever she wants.
She could be Cappy Sarah.
She hosts dinner parties and studies film. I don't know. Her best friend's name is Seb.
There you go.
She's so soft.
I love how they come with a backstory.
She has a backstory. Remember Cabbage Patch Kids had a backstory?
I was going to say Cabbage Patch Kids did that.
Yep. All my Cabbage Patch Kids had names and backstories. So we're capybara all over the place this morning.
All over the place.
And it's all good.
I wish I had known about that. I would have brought more capybaras.
So now I'm using my capybara lamp to let everyone know when we're recording.
We're recording.
Yeah, so if it's lit, we're on.
It is lit. It's sitting on top of a Sugarland's Sippin' Cream Eggo waffle.
Yes.
Pretty soon we'll all be lit.
We're all gonna be lit.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
It's breakfast.
Breakfast in a jar.
That's right.
Did either of you run over to Ruper's after our show and buy a bunch of them? Because I did.
I actually have not. It missed my...
It didn't get on the list.
It's still on the list. So that'll be done between now and tomorrow.
This is stocking stuffers for the young adults in our home of drinking age.
Perfect.
Yeah, not the young adults in our home.
A trip to Ruper's is never off the list.
No.
It's just,
True.
it's a constant.
No,
yeah,
it's
you just keep
good.
putting check marks next to it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The stockings are going to be full of scratch tickets and booze. Which,
Best stocking stuffers.
Yeah, what adult doesn't want that
know.
for
I
their
know,
stocking?
right?
So it'll be fun. We're going to have a great day.
So we are going to talk to Mike the Tarot Guy about tarot and other stuff that is festive in the supernatural world.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Sounds perfect to
All right.
me. My favorite topic.
Sounds good. Other than Titanic.
Oh, my
Right.
God. Don't
Right.
get me started.
Before we do that, let's take a look at some headlines for Monday, December 23rd.
Governor Mills signed an executive order establishing a task force to examine the opportunities and implications of artificial intelligence for Maine's people, economy, and institutions. The task force will prepare policy recommendations to harness the benefits of AI while minimizing risks for people and businesses.
Maine's unemployment rate in November was 3.1%, up slightly from 2.9% in October. According to the Maine Department of Labor, the trend has been similar to the previous 2 years, with joblessness shrinking in the spring and summer and increasing toward year's end. The national unemployment rate for November was 4.2%.
Senator Angus King co-sponsored a recently passed bill to repair Social Security benefits for more than 2 million Americans who have devoted their careers to public service. Since 1983, federal policies have reduced or eliminated Social Security payments for many public service workers who also receive pensions.
New data from Hunger Free America shows that nearly 100,000 Maine residents are food insecure, a 47% increase from 3 years ago. The surge is due to high grocery prices and the rollback or expiration of several pandemic-era support programs.
The city of Auburn is reminding residents that there will be no trash and recycling collection on Wednesday, Christmas Day. There will be a special collection on Saturday, December 28th.
Special.
There'll be so much wrapping paper.
I know.
They gotta do it.
Tubes
So
and
much.
paper.
all that stuff.
Oh, it's time for the
Weather!
Partly sunny today. Partly sunny today with a high of 24 and a low of 7.
Brr.
Very cold.
Yikes.
Early morning snow tomorrow with a high of 27 and a low of 18, and a mixture of sun and clouds on Christmas with a high of 30 and lows in the teens.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I wouldn't
There's
mind a
a
little
chance.
sprinkle before Christmas.
A little
That'd be
bit of
nice.
white?
Yeah.
Just a smidgen?
I'd prefer just temperatures in double digits.
Yep.
No,
I'd
that'd be
happy with that.
nice.
In sports, the Patriots lost to the Buffalo Bills 24-21, although it was supposed to be a blowout. Pats hung tough. They came out
Yeah.
strong and then just, fell apart at the end.
Kind of like new kids. They're hanging tough.
They are hanging tough. Wow.
Yeah.
Pam brought the A game
That was
today.
good. That was actually really good. I was impressed.
The Pats fall to 3-12 and will host the 9-6 LA Chargers on Saturday afternoon.
Well, let's hope the Bruins don't lose when they host the Washington Capitals tonight at 7.
Yeah, let's hope.
Let's
Or
hope.
an actual game we can watch.
Yes.
It's not at 9 or 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
We watched the game where we sat on the couch, turned it on, and promptly fell asleep.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
That was
what
a
happens.
long week and a half.
Yeah.
out west,
10 o'clock,
but yeah.
9 o'clock games. Come on, guys.
Now the Bruins have come back to their senses. And they're back home.
Yeah.
The Celtics visit the Orlando Magic tonight at 7.
The Maine Nordiques split a pair of games with the Rochester Junior Americans over the weekend, losing 2-1 on Friday and winning 4-0 on Saturday. Nice. The Nords enter the holiday break in 4th place in the NAL East Division, only 6 points behind first place Rochester.
The NAL is the NAHL, the North American Hockey League.
Yeah.
Not everyone speaks Nords.
Not everyone speaks North. If they listen to
No.
us, they do. Oh, I'm sorry. And I'm sorry, I mispronounced the name of the team
That's right.
that they had the split against. It's the stinkin' Rochester Junior Americans. I'm sorry
That's
about
true.
that. Stinkin'.
Pam had to correct me on Friday.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I didn't say
Yeah.
the proper name
We
either.
just, we should be respectful and
Yeah.
give them their full name.
We should.
Every single time.
Every time.
Stinkin' Rochester American.
That is your news, weather, and sports. And right now it is time for the podcast segment that is sweeping the Twin Cities. It's time for famous people birthdays.
They're famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. It's famous people birthdays.
Pam is excited about this one.
So excited.
We only have 3, but one of them is one of your favorites,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
You want to take it away?
Oh, I never take it away.
Well-
nor do I ever announce whose birthday
I
it is.
think it's
Do
time.
it.
It is singer Eddie Vedder of Pearl Jam. He is turning the big 60 today.
Milestone
Happy birthday,
birthday.
Eddie.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen Pearl Jam twice in concert, and growing up and to this day. I mean, they never go out of style. You can always listen to them, yeah.
And Eddie Vedder never stops being hot.
And his voice is just very soothing, right?
Eddie Vedder's voice is very soothing.
What's your favorite song, Sarah?
Sarah, take a breath.
Calm down. It's okay.
My favorite song is Breathe by Eddie Vedder. But I think that Mark likes it when I sing, "You are miss more here, yesterday." You like that one?
Let's Eddie.
That's my
keep
Eddie
that
Vedder.
one.
That's my
I know
Eddie
that
Vedder.
song.
Was that a cross between Eddie Vedder and Elvis?
He does sometimes have a little bit of Elvis in his voice.
Yeah.
Also, I have a cold, so my Eddie Vedder is a little not on point today.
Eddie was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Pearl Jam in 2017. And for fans of the Hulu series The Bear, he released a cover of the English Beats Save It for Later for that series. Actor Susan Lucci from All My Children is 78 years old today. Did she ever win? She was famous for never winning something,
I
right?
feel like she must have won at some point.
Like a daytime Emmy or something?
Yeah, she was nominated. That was her thing. She was like nominated over and
Yeah,
over
it was
and
like
over
14
again.
years she didn't win.
She was 21 times she was nominated for a daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress. She won once in 1999.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Nominated 21 times. I've heard people say, like, when somebody has, like, been nominated and never wins, I've heard people call them the Susan Lucci of whatever that thing is.
Yeah, that's what she was known for.
Yeah.
Like, nobody remembered her acting.
No,
They just remembered
Yeah.
that she never won.
She never won.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
And rounding out FPBs for December the 23rd is actor and comedian Harry Shearer, who is 81 years old today. Mike, you know Harry.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's 81?
He's 81.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
He plays Principal Skinner on
He sure does.
The Simpsons.
Yeah. And so many other characters.
Yes.
He plays Mr. Burns, Waylon Smithers, Ned Flanders, Reverend Lovejoy, Lenny, Scratchy from Itchy and Scratchy.
Oh.
Yep.
Right? Kent Brockman, and Otto the bus driver.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
he plays Otto?
He plays
Yeah.
Otto.
He was a guest on Friends. He was there to take Ross's monkey, Marcel. And Ross was looking for a place to send him because he was acting out. And this guy, Harry Shearer's character, shows up and he's like, "Can he hold a knife? How is he on hand-to-hand combat?" It's very clearly that he's not from a zoo. He is from some kind of underground animal ring. Ross is like, "No, why would he need a knife?" And the guy's like, "Well, it wouldn't be fair to send him in there against, say, a big cat on his own." It's like, oh my God, what's happening?
He also played Derek Smalls in Spinal Tap, which is one of the greatest movies ever made. Only 3, but they were good.
They were all very good. Yeah.
I agree.
Pam approves of one of them.
I know one of them.
That means it's going to be a good day, Mike.
Yes.
Usually Pam goes through the list and she's like, "Do we have to?"
Yeah.
Those are your FPBs for December the 23rd. Locally owned and locally focused, Lydia Media celebrates the heart of the greater Lewiston-Auburn area through 2 magazines, Uncle Andy's Digest and LA Metro Magazine, and the new Lydia's Lunch Bunch podcast. Each production shines a positive light on local businesses, nonprofits, events, and individuals making a difference in our community. Keep your advertising dollars local. Position your business in front of your target audience with Lydia Media. Learn more at lydiamediallc.com. Now we shift focus fully to our guest in studio, Mike the Tarot Guy. A lot of people from our former show are familiar with you, but we got a brand new audience here.
Brand new audience.
Brand new audience.
Yay.
They may not have heard of Mike the Tarot Guy before. And I know that our listeners that live under rocks have never heard of Mike the Tarot Guy. Tell the folks what you do, Mike.
Yeah, I am an intuitive tarot reader. So I use tarot cards, oracle cards, and my intuition. I have clairvoyance and clairaudience that all help me to predict the future and help people through scenarios in their lives and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm kind of like a gypsy, but not a gypsy. And I also help raise money for, good causes and stuff like that. So perfect blend of everything. It's a good time.
And you are for hire if folks want you for like individual readings or group parties or what have you, right?
Yes, absolutely. I have the ability to travel to people to give readings. I do half-hour, hour-long readings. I also offer party options. So if you want to get a group of friends together, it brings down the cost a bit. And it's a good time had by all. And I now have a physical location every Sunday at Leaping Lizards in Portland.
Oh, cool.
So if you want a reading from Mike the Tarot Guy, go on down to Leaping Lizards in Portland, Maine.
All right. Nice. There you go. You have given readings to Sarah and I.
Yes.
You freaked us both out.
Yep.
I will say that. And I admit, I'm a skeptic. I don't believe in a lot of this stuff, but Sarah's into this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to know what Pam's thoughts on it are.
What are my thoughts?
What are your thoughts
I'm
on...
very intrigued.
Yeah?
I would love to have a reading.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
But,
Wow.
I'm kind of like Mark. I believe in it, but I am skeptical.
Fair
So
enough.
I think there's plenty of ways with internet and social media and all that to kind of really dig if you can prior to, if you know who you're reading or whatever. So I just,
That sounds scandalous. I have not once ever done that with any client. I do not do any research ahead of time. Just to validate what I do. I love working with people who are skeptical because I know what I'm doing.
Right.
I've been doing it professionally for 10 years. I trust in the voices that come from above and all that stuff. And it's fun to take somebody who may be skeptical and then start telling them about their life.
Right.
And then they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
Like
remember
Mark.
the first time I met Mike, he came into the studio early. Sarah wasn't there yet. You said something to me about I was stressing out about real estate for some reason. And at that moment, Sherry and I were selling our camp. There's no way he could have known about that.
Right.
That was his first thought.
Yeah.
Just and I was like, okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I totally looked for his MySpace. Not MySpace.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Dating myself.
How far back did you
Facebook.
go?
A ways. I'm an old soul.
Yeah. So instantly, I thought this guy's legit. He's onto something because the property wasn't even listed yet. We were talking to friends and family about selling it, see if they wanted it. So that was pretty weird.
It was weird. And when I got there, you had shuffled and cut the deck, and he was giving you a reading that didn't make any sense to you, and nobody knew it at the time, but I was going through a divorce, and your reading was mine. Everything he was telling Mark was like, nope, that's me. Nope, that's me.
And it was great because I just literally pivot and I'm
I know, we were
all
like-
right, like physically,
we were like-
physically just move over.
Yeah,
It's
we were like,
you.
we called a timeout, and he was like, nope, it's over here.
I was texting Sherry going, babe, we need a divorce.
What's wrong?
Talking to Mike,
What's
the tarot
happening?
guy. It's just not working out.
I didn't know this, but
I am not responsible for the disruption of anybody's lives.
He's just reading. No, we've both had good experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And since then, I have found a lot of, really cool opportunities. I am now an New England psychic.
What?
What's that mean?
It means that people in Massachusetts are now hiring me for
Oh.
So I have made it into Massachusetts. The Maine Made Magic Man is getting there. It's great.
Crossing borders.
All right.
Absolutely changing lives
Love it.
one person at a time.
I love that.
So this is a special time of year. We just had winter solstice,
Yes.
right? What's that all about? What does it mean to people in your line of work?
Yeah, so winter solstice. It's one of those holidays that nobody talks about because Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah have kind of taken over this space, which is fine. Those are excellent holidays. And actually, a lot of our traditions for Christmas come from winter solstice, or Yule is another term for it. So Yule, winter solstice are what existed prior to Christianity. And a lot of Germanic people, Scandinavians, practiced it and whatnot. But it is also an astronomical event. So Yule takes place on December 21st, and it is the shortest day of the year. So everybody's familiar with equinoxes, right? Mm-hmm. This is not an equinox. Yay, not equinox. It is a solstice, and there is a difference between the two. The equinoxes indicate that it is a time of the year where there is equal daylight and night. So day and night is equal, and that happens twice a year. But on the other end of things, a solstice is where it is either the longest day of the year or the shortest. And we are at the shortest day of the year. So we have very little sunlight at this time. And this Yeah, I know.
But it's going to get better.
It's already getting
They
better.
get longer every day now, right?
We are getting longer every day. So we have passed the barrier. It's great. And they would celebrate, the shortest and longest day of the year because the religions at that time were all intrinsically tied to nature. Everything was about nature. So pagan traditions are built around the growing cycle, essentially. Okay. Now, the shortest day of the year, it's cold, it's, ice, snow everywhere. So it was seen as a time of rest. So Yule was a time of really taking care of yourself, and fire. Fire is the big thing. One, you have to stay warm. Two, it represents the sun. So bonfires are a huge tradition in Yule to be able to pay respect to the sun and to bring it back from its sleep. Now, that's why we have Christmas lights. It's why we have candles everywhere and all that stuff. It all dates back to ancient Yule traditions.
Neat.
So, like the lights on the Christmas tree, that is to celebrate the sun and to wish it back into existence.
Please stay.
Yes, please come back. We love your warmth. We love your everything. But yeah, so a lot of our traditions for this holiday actually come from that. Even Hanukkah and Kwanzaa all kind of have their roots in this idea that they're celebrating light. This idea that light is returning to the earth. So they all have more in common with each other than they don't. But people don't really realize that. It's cool.
It is cool.
It's neat.
Yeah, and guys, don't ever tell your wife or your girlfriend that she's as beautiful as the day is long on winter solstice.
Yeah, it's so short.
Yeah,
So short.
Have you made that mistake already?
God. I can't even tell you.
It's nice that the days start to grow longer.
Yes.
I
Always,
need the
yes.
light. I know we should celebrate and stay restful in this time, but it's very hard to not long for sunshine.
Yeah, I mean, we need the sun. The vitamin D is great for our immune systems. It's great for our emotional health. It's really hard this time of the year because seasonal depression is a thing. There's such a lack of light. It's really puts everybody into a not so happy place sometimes. And I get it, but it is coming back. It is on its way. We get a few more minutes today than we had yesterday.
Yes. It's hard to have acceptance for it, but it does definitely serve a purpose, that tucking in and almost hibernating
Yes.
part of life. This is especially in New England when it is so cold. Like it's 7 degrees when you get up in the morning. You kind of do want to just stay home. It's okay that it's dark. I don't need to go anywhere. But
That was me this morning. I'm like, I'm so excited to go in because I'm sure they have heat. 7 degrees outside, 7 degrees inside. I mean, it's great. No wind chill though, so there's
Yeah.
That's right.
that's always a plus.
yeah.
But like, one cool thing about the solstice is Stonehenge.
Yeah.
Do y'all know the significance of Stonehenge at this time?
No.
So people don't really know what Stonehenge actually is. But what's really interesting about it is that the way it is positioned, the sun actually travels through all of the arches on the solstice. So people think it's a calendar
Yeah.
because of the way it's built. You can literally follow the sun through the arches, and it's the only time of the year that happens.
Oh, because it's lower.
Because it's set up in just the right way that the sun will go through all the arches. But it only happens on that one day because it's all set up.
I wonder how long it took them to do that.
That's an interesting question because it would have to take a lot of time.
Yeah, they'd either have to be really fast or do it one day a year for like however many years, right?
Yeah, and
Wow.
it's similar to those other ancient cultures that figured out all of the calendars of their own calendars and following mapping the stars and everything like that. The Mesoamericans were amazing at mapping the stars, and their calendar that they made was actually pretty spot on. And so it's like those things take so much time. For us, we're like, oh God, is it going to be like 10 days? Like,
Yeah.
And for them, it's like 3,000 years of just staring at the sky.
It's amazing what you can accomplish before Facebook,
Right?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, or before like anything.
Social media.
Any of the common day distractions.
That's
yeah.
right.
I wonder how successful we'd be at building a pyramid
Oh my God.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
It didn't look like Homer Simpson built it.
Oh, I love The Simpsons.
So Mike, you brought some stuff with you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what you
What do
got?
you got?
Yeah, I bring all of my essentials whenever I go anywhere. I have my standard tarot deck, which I use to do readings. I have a whole bunch of like stones, trinkets, and stuff like that. When I say I'm like kind of a gypsy, I look like I'm throwing stuff on the table. I'm like praying to deities and and all this fun stuff. I also have my goddess oracle cards, which I use in readings as well. So if you get a reading from Mike the Tarot Guy, it's not going to be like a traditional, flip 3 cards, past, present, future. I'm going to kind of go a little more in depth. I'm going to give you some oracle cards just to kind of see where things are going. And then I'm going to extrapolate and expand with the tarot. So you're getting like 3 readings in one.
Oh, wow.
Which is really cool. I mean, who doesn't want 3 readings in one?
I like when you bring the animal cards too.
Oh, I have them. They're
Yay!
just in my backpack. And I've got 2 sets now.
Ooh.
If Sarah picks a capybara, it's over.
Capybara.
I don't think I have a capybara card.
They're
should
just
make
so
one.
random.
They are. I mean,
love them.
But one thing I would like to do while I'm here is at least do, sling some cards
That'd be
here
great.
and there.
Yeah.
And talk about what the future may hold for people at certain
do
times
it.
of the year. So
Are we all into that?
Yeah, I'm into
Sling
it.
some cards around.
I
Sling
want,
some
I
cards,
want
Mike.
Pam to sling some cards. I want to see what happens.
do you
Is that okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
Pam, do you want to sling some cards?
Sure.
So, all right, here's what I'm going to have you do. I'm going to have you shuffle
Excuse me.
these cards.
Shuffle.
So what we are going to do is we are going to look at the spring. So like winter into spring
Okay.
for you as
Okay.
what you can expect, what's going to work for you, what's not going to work for you. So that way we can kind of get an idea of things. If any cards fall out, please let me have them.
Okay. I'll try not to drop any.
It's not a bad thing if they fall out.
All right.
It's just the universe's way of saying, hey, you
This one.
need to pay attention to this right here. Okay. If you could please cut them into 3 piles.
3 piles.
Yep, this is what we call cutting the deck. And all of this is to put your energy into the cards. All right, leaving this pile here on the end, on top, please put them back together however you'd like. All right, your fate is sealed.
Oh boy.
Of course, my throat is sounds so horrible today, so when I say that, it sounds creepier than it normally would. All right, so let's look at the winter to come. So
The winter we're in right now.
the winter that just began,
Yeah.
this is what you can kind of expect for the rest of winter.
Okay.
Our foundation card, we have the Hermit. All right, congratulations. You are going to find a cave somewhere and you are just going to hunker down. And all right. The Hermit does not necessarily mean that you are going to find a cave and hunker down. Right?
I wish.
But it just means that
That doesn't sound so bad.
It's like, yep, I'm accurate. Sounds nice.
so for the winter at least, this is your foundation card. This is what is important for the next couple of months.
Okay.
It is important for you to kind of take a step back. It's time to really sort of remove yourself from all of everything out here so that way you can start looking more internally versus externally. It is a good time for you to start building. Hold on. Stuff comes through. And when it does, it's like, whoa, trying to process. Okay. Are you looking into are you needing new hobbies or I don't mean that in an offensive way. I
No.
mean, I feel like you're kind of stuck right now and you need something to captivate your attention and to kind of shift you into a new direction to give you some different purpose than what you have going on right now.
Okay.
The feeling that I get is that you have a lot of stress in the area of work and everything like that. You have a lot of responsibilities and that I hate to say the word crushing you.
Well,
It's crushing.
accurate word, I guess.
But you're giving a lot to other people. You're giving a lot to the people around you, which is great. But it's indicating that it's time to do stuff for you. It's time for you to kind of find something that really ignites a fire within you. So that way you can take that energy and apply it to the areas in life that you're kind of struggling with.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And in order to do that, you need to kind of take a step back and really go inwards rather than outwards. So the rest of this winter, I mentioned earlier that winter is a time for rest and calm. Honey child, it is time for you to rest and calm. Away from everybody. You do you, honey child. I get really sassy on readings.
If there's one thing I learned about Mike, when he starts whipping out the honey child, things are getting
He's
real.
serious.
Girl.
Serious.
Yeah, I get really sassy with readings. Okay, so this is going to be what's influencing this. Boredom. All right, so I'm going to reaffirm everything that I was trying to say before, is that you're putting a lot into a whole bunch of stuff for work, living, for other people and stuff like that. There's not enough interest right now, I guess you could say. Like, there's not enough passion in what you're doing, and so it's creating this sense of, I have to do this because I have to survive. I have to do this because it's what I need to do. I have to do this because people are expecting me to do this. But that shouldn't be the only reasons why we do things. So finding something that can bring more passion into your life in terms of experiences or like an activity or something. Have you ever done jujitsu or like
No.
like I feel like you need to be active.
Yes.
I feel like
100%.
you're not as active as you would like to do, like to be. So maybe some jujitsu or like some karate or something, because not only is that going to get you active, but it's also going to train your mind into calm. And would you say that you have a lot of stress and you're just like all the time?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, that makes sense.
Did you hear Sarah's laugh? She's like,
And Pam, if you're going to take jujitsu and karate, can you do it after my annual review?
It would be a great way to relieve some stress.
yeah.
And again, the things that are coming through right now is that you're not moving enough. You're not getting enough exercise. You're not stimulating, the muscles enough. And so something like that, kickboxing even,
Yeah.
get a punching bag and just
Something where she can hit something is
feel-
what I'm hearing.
Is there
Sounds about
aggression?
right.
So that's what's influencing things. And, with the boredom card itself, we have it negatively aspected. So it's suggesting that there's a restlessness. It's more of a detriment for you. You need to keep moving. And you don't like being stuck. So some good forward movement, good energy work would be fantastic. And now is a time to start looking into that if you are interested. Now, what's going to work for you throughout the rest of the winter? Really kind of no major purchases. Don't go out and buy a brand new house and then a boat and then a car. Don't do that. We have the Ace of Pentacles inverted. Pentacles represent property, finance, tangible things, documents, like contracts, stuff like that. Aces represent beginnings. It's always the beginning of every suit. So we have it inverted, which indicates that now is not the time to really start new ventures in terms of acquisition in, like contracts and buying stuff. Save that for another time. Are you considering moving?
I mean,
Because
Yes.
buying a house and stuff like that keeps coming over and over and over again. Hi, child, hold on. Hold on to that. Wait till the spring, especially right now because Mercury's retrograding.
yeah. Our plan wasn't for right now. But
Okay, good.
Anyway.
It's good to think about those things. And that's another great thing about winter and this time of the year. It's good to start planning. This is the time, this is known as the dead season because you can't grow anything during this time. So this is the time of the year where people start planning out what they want to do, and they're making plans for the growing season to come. So that is a good thing to do right now is look at everything collectively. And for everybody listening, this doesn't just apply to Pam. This is a good time to really start planning for the year to come. What is it that you want to accomplish? What is it that you want to manifest? What is it that you want to have available to you? And start looking at ways to go about getting those things. So if you are thinking about that, put that energy out there.
Right.
Manifest. Do you know what I mean by manifesting?
I do.
Okay, cool. For the listeners out there who have never heard the term manifesting, pretty much what I'm talking about is the energy you put out is the energy you get back. If you want good things, put good energy out and think positively about things. It does work. It truly does. I used to be very negative in my teen years and whatnot. I had depression. It was really hard for me. And once I trained my mind to think positively, oh my God.
Yeah.
I got this business, which was fantastic. It's what I've always wanted to do. And, you just put out that good energy and it will come. You just got to have faith. So, yes, everybody out there in podcast land, start manifesting what it is you want. So, going back to the cards, again, this is not the time, this winter is not the time to start new things.
Right.
What is going to work against you? Interesting. We have the Ten of Cups inverted. This is the happy home card. So, once again, another card indicating that home is kind of an upset right now. Be mindful about the energies that you're putting into your home, especially if you want to sell it, if that's going to be a thing. Again, people can feel energy. With the Ten of Cups, it indicates that things aren't very copacetic within the household right now. Things aren't working the way that you want them to be. I'm not insinuating anything cataclysmic or anything like that. But in regards to that whole process of wanting to move and stuff like that, just be mindful of the energies that you're putting into the house. Like if you don't like the space,
right.
If you physically don't like the space, be mindful about saying those things out loud because it latches on, and then people can sense those things. So make it everything you want somebody else.
Right.
Make it what somebody else wants, and then you'll be perfectly fine. But either way, making those plans and working on that this winter is going to be very beneficial for you.
Right.
Now, in the spring.
Yay, spring.
Yay, spring.
Yay, spring.
Interesting.
Oh, boy.
I love it when things start with that word.
Now, I have a question. Are you married?
No.
Are you looking to be married?
Oh, boy. There have been discussions, around it,
This is the marriage card.
Okay.
Ooh, how exciting.
Two of Cups. It is the marriage card. It is literally the coming together of two things to become one. I'm not going to ask any more questions about your relationship status, but since it sounds like there have been discussions of that, just know that the spring is indicating, and this is everything that's surrounding, and this kind of gives me a little more insight. Maybe now I know why you're looking to sell the house. Either way, it's indicating that a marriage is kind of happening. Now, marriage can mean more than just two people getting married. It's literally defined as the coming together of two things to become one. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't necessarily have to mean a ring is going on the finger, you're walking down the aisle.
Right.
If that is the case, congratulations, awesome. So happy for you. But it could mean that more than one area of your life is coming together.
Oh.
Right? And so I mentioned how this winter, take a step back, kind of find some new passion to kind of work with the stress of everything in your life right now. This marriage could be something coming in that will help balance everything out. So it could be taken either way. This does not mean that in April you come at me and go,
I didn't get my ring, Mike.
I did not walk down that aisle on Titanic Day. April's Titanic Day or week. So, yeah. April. But I want to talk about April. April. Usually when I say things randomly out of nowhere, it's coming from up here. Is there any significance to April?
No, not that I can think of.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. All right, fair enough. Ooh, honey child. Ooh, what's gonna work for you? We have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups represents people from our past, from our childhood, coming back into our lives and having a substantial part of it. So I don't know if you've been reaching out to friends from childhood or anything like that. What's going to work best for you in the spring is reconnecting with people from your past who have really built you up and, who were of value to you because these people are bringing good energy forward.
All right.
So whomever that may be, again, even though the cups represent relationships are more than just romantic ones.
Yeah.
And I really want to stress and emphasize that. As someone who is chronically single myself, I've had to learn that, everything's not about getting married and having a romantic relationship. I have been able to build a family of my own, through friendships and stuff like that are equally as important.
Yeah.
So for people who struggle with relationships, I want to give them hope as well. When these relationship cards come up, it's not always just a romantic relationship. Whatever relationship comes from this is going to be very beneficial to you because they are positively aspected.
All right.
Somebody's going to come forward, and that's what's going to help you through the first part of this year.
All right.
Now, what's going to work against you this spring? Judgment.
Uh-oh. Oh.
And by that, I mean my best friend, Karma.
We haven't opened our Eggo sipper yet.
I think we're about to.
Pam's ready.
Be very careful about karma. As I've mentioned a couple times now, the energy you put out is the energy you get back. Karma is all about that energy. You do good things for people without expecting good things to happen. And that's the thing. For all the listeners out there in podcast land, karma works this way. You do something. It's either good or bad. Now, if it's a good thing, karma will bring good energy to you as long as the reason for doing the good thing was not to get good karma.
Right.
If you're doing it specifically so you can get good karma,
It doesn't work that way.
hi child, they don't work that way. But if you do really crappy things to people and whatnot, you continue to do so. Not saying that that's what you do. The universe sends crappy things back to you. So again, it's all about how we look at things. All about how we do things. So put out good energy, and good things will come back to you. You don't have to worry about that as much. As I mentioned before, Pluto's in Aquarius. When we were on the radio, I talked a lot about Pluto going into Aquarius. It's something that happens every 248 years.
Oh.
Last time it happened, we had French Revolution, American Revolution, Industrial Revolution, all kinds of change. And so now we're here. We're finally there. We're already in this space for the next 19 years. And there is one card that always comes to mind whenever I think about this time period, and it's the Seven of Pentacles. And that card simply and very loosely represents reap what you sow. For the next 19 years, starting back in November, it's a reap what you sow kind of thing, kind of going along with Judgment. So that's why it's very important for all of us to really think about what it is that we want and make a plan for how we get there, because how you get there is going to determine what you get. Are you going to have a bountiful harvest, or is it going to be a rough winter because none of your plants grew?
Right.
So either way, it looks like you are off to a good start for the year. Just take time for yourself and really, really look in, see what you want, and
That makes sense.
whoever that person is from childhood, don't turn them away.
Pam,
Don't turn them away.
Digging
Love
deep
to
for that one. I have no idea.
Well, that's the magic of it.
So there's like a group of friends that I have, and we all grew up in Mechanic Falls, like from kindergarten and graduated high school. And as we got older into high school, like some of us kind of branched out and made new friends, and but we've all kind of reconnected, and we get together quite often. Not quite often. I mean, quite often for
For high school friends.
Yeah, for elementary school friends, and I'm in my mid-40s, so quite often for that. And yeah, so I don't know if that But anyway.
And it may not be childhood. It's people from our past.
Right.
Somebody from your past.
Interesting.
And April keeps popping in. So I don't know what April holds, but I can't wait to find out.
What's going on in April?
We'll find out, won't
Oh,
we?
my God.
I'm wondering if we should take April off for the podcast.
Oh yeah, it's no one's birthday. It's nothing. There's nothing
No, there's
special
no
in April.
birthdays at all.
Interesting.
Not even-
Anniversary of anything?
No.
No. Interesting.
Pam,
So-
I'd love to get your thoughts on what just happened. Like, from top to bottom, if you had to summarize it, what would you go with?
I mean, it was pretty, relatable. Like, there were things that, 100% that I'm like come April, I'll be very interested. The whole time I'm like, I'm so glad this is recorded because I'll be playing some things back and be like, oh yeah, okay. But we'll see come April.
In April, I'm going to get a message saying, you're wrong about everything.
Or, oh my gosh, Mike, you were so right about everything.
And that's typically what happens. I mean, not to brag, but I mean, I have people who come, they're like, what are you talking about? None of this makes sense. And then like 3 months later, they're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
How did
Totally
you
makes
know?
sense now.
And I'm like, I'm Mike the Tarot Guy. That's what I do. I mean, it's in my name.
Yeah, but I mean, even the being more active, 100%. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, you have mentioned it a couple
I need
times.
to start running because I haven't been doing much of anything, and then the home thing. Yeah, it's the space, not who's in it, kind of
Yeah.
thing. But
And that's the feeling that I got is that
Yeah.
it's not necessarily the people in
Yeah.
it, but it's the space itself.
yeah,
Oh, boy. But that was super cool.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, it
that
is
was pretty
my
awesome.
pleasure.
For folks who would like to hire you or learn more about what you do, where could we send them?
If you could send them to my email address at mikethetarotguy@gmail.com, that would be great.
If you're looking to get your vehicle, home, or health ready for all that Mother Nature has to offer, look no further than Uncle Andy's Digest. You'll find plenty of local businesses that take pride in providing great service at affordable prices. Holiday gift ideas? Yep, we have that too, along with jokes, funny stories, shout-outs, an events calendar, and a whole lot more. Uncle Andy's Digest, your guide to, well, just about anything. Visit UncleAndys.com. We're going to end with 3 random questions, which is what we like to do. We'll get to know you a little bit outside of your tarot world.
Ooh,
I don't
yeah.
even know how to reference it. What is the supernatural, astrological? It all works?
Tarot world works fine.
All right,
Like
cool.
psychic, whatever, yeah. Anything works. I'm go with the flow.
All right. Mike, if there was going to be a movie made about your life, who plays Mike the Tarot Guy?
Oh God, that's an interesting question. Part of me wants Octavia Spencer. I feel like she would be a good fit for Mike the Tarot Guy, and that would raise so many questions.
We can go with it.
I'm gonna go with Octavia Spencer.
Okay. I
'cause
love that.
that would be fantastic.
All right.
love it. What is your favorite line from a movie?
Oh man. So I quote Titanic all the time. And so it would probably have to be, it's been 84 years. Do your best to remember. Do you want to hear this or not, Mr. Lovett? It's been 84 years and I can still smell the fresh paint. The china had never been used. The sheets had never been slept in. Titanic was called the ship of dreams, and it was. It really was.
Now we all want to go and watch the Titanic.
I thought it was going to be Draw Me Like One of Your French Girls.
Oh,
And
That
I
is
thought it was,
also one.
and I thought it was going to be if you jump, I jump.
I haven't quoted that one. The other one that I quote all the time is, and now you know there was someone named Jack, and he saved me in all the ways a person could be saved. I don't even have a picture of him. He exists now only in my memories.
Wow.
Wow.
And then she dies.
Ready for your last one?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you had a pet parrot, what would you teach it to say?
Oh, God.
84 years. It's been 84.
It's been 84 years. I'll just teach it to say, "Do you want to hear this or not, Mr. Lovett?"
That's a good idea.
And that's all it's gonna say over and over and over.
Perfect.
Awesome stuff. Mike, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me on. This has been a blast from the past in all the best ways. I miss you guys. Like, I love coming on every month, and if you ever want me to come back, I would gladly do it.
The gang is back together, and we
band
have a
is
new
back.
member.
Yes.
So it's awesome. Mike the Tarot Guy at gmail.com if you'd like more information. And you heard it, folks. The dude is legit. I didn't believe in any of this.
Oh yeah, you can say that word now
now
because
I
you're not
kinda
on
do.
there.
And
now we do.
Yeah. And that's going to do it for us until Thursday because, you know, 'tis the season.
It's the Christmas.
Yeah, we'll take Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off, and we'll be back with you guys on Thursday.
Sounds like a plan.
So thanks for listening, and thanks to our sponsors, Ruper's Beverage and Redemption and United Piping. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, reach out to Pam via email at pam@lydiamediallc.com. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Kwanzaa.
Happy Kwanzaa. Happy solstice.
Happy Solstice.
Happy all the things.
Happy
Happy all the-
Hanukkah.
Today is Festivus.
It is.
Oh my God. Saturnalia. Can't forget that one.
Yeah, that too.
Happy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, everybody.
There we go. Covers all the bases.